What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dermy Wormy. I'm coming at you with another G Gundam review. What was this one's again? I'm numbers are escaping me. 28. Yeah, episode 28. That does sound about right. Episode 28. It was a interesting episode. Interesting because it dealt with didn't deal with anything super serious, but it dealt with an assassin. Domon had a struggle. Domon's in roughly his third match for the tournament. Yeah, third match, because he's gone up against the Greek dude, India dude, and now he's going up against Nepal. Honestly, this is one of my he's not up there in like my top 10 favorite characters, the fighter from Nepal, but he is a cool character, especially because this isn't the only time you're gonna see him. He has his own things that he deals with, his own struggles and his own issues, and I find him a fascinating character. Down to the very end, I think he's just cool, but he's maybe top 20 characters, I would say. Top 15, actually. That's where I would put him. But enough of my chit chat. Let's get into the episode. And I know I changed everything mainly because, hey, you know, copyright gods, they're a bitch. So here we go. Why don't we just start? So we open up on a nice overview of Hong Kong, but it's not super nice. You see, we see this random man running down an alleyway, struggling to get away, kind of in a panic, and quickly stops as he starts hearing something. Walks up to the wall because this man's frightened. Terrified. Let me look at that face. The next thing you know, you see a shot of a man come up behind him. Says, "This is it." You yell, and then you see the scarlet moon, which is a good symbol of something bad happened. You can probably figure out what it is. Then we get our announcer, you know, our lovely narrator, the guy who leads us through everything. Mystery man, as it would be. Explaining that today's opponent is a assassin from Nepal. Kirei something, I'm not going to be able to remember his last name. It's like Motagayo or Motamine. It's interesting. But he is a assassin who's won all of his matches by default, mainly because all of his opponents, before he has a fight, always show up without a pulse. And today, his opponent is going to be Domon Kashu. So will Domon come up without a pulse beforehand? No. But it is a moment where Domon strikes fear into Domon just going up against this dude. Because he is a trained killer. He offs people. So, full episode starts with Domon, Rain, the girls, and the old man, well, the girl and little boy, whose name is escaping me. We said it last week, and I can't remember it. And they're watching a Gundam match, and they're watching Viking Gundam versus Schwarzbruder of Shadow Gundam and Neo Germany. And Schwartz is, you know, he's not really on the back end, but he's making it look like he's struggling. Because the whole time you got Viking Gundam spinning, just circling around in his boats. He's using his signature weapon, which are ore weapons. And Shadow Gundam's on the back foot. It looks like, you know, he's struggling to stand up to all these attacks. Viking Gundam says, now it's time for me to end this. So he runs his boat ashore, breaking into the arena, jumps out, and launches 2 harpoons directly at Shadow Gundam. But Schwarzbruder immediately lifts up a ground part, and it makes it look like, hey, he's getting pierced. Fight's over, right? Well, as we know, Shadow Gundam is kind of the ninja. And it gets revealed that no, it's not Schwartz. It's actually just Viking Gundam boat. And Schwarzbruder comes from under the stadium and immediately ends the fight, just striking off both Viking Gundam's arms. Viking Gundam lands into the water. Big explosion, but Schwartz saves him. And Schwartz is, you know, heralded like, hey, he's a good fighter. He's one of the people set to possibly win the tournament. He's awesome. He's cool. He's such a sportsman. And everybody's looking on upon Schwartz in like amazement. And they're kind of concerned, Domon might not be able to ever beat Schwartzbruder. Yeah, hey, he's Schwartzbruder. Domon kind of looking serious and stuff. And all the kids are like, nah, he'll do it. Because Domon's Domon. He can beat anybody. Obviously, that's the idea. And the kids, cheer Domon up. Because Domon's like, Schwartz is Schwartz. I don't know if I could actually beat him. And they're like, no, you could beat him. You definitely could. And, Domon playing with the kids warms him up and says, yep, I could beat him. Definitely. Then, as the match is ending up, we have Chippity show up. Chippity Crockett. Been a little while since we got to actually handle Chippity Crockett. And he comes up to immediately start hitting on Rain. And immediately the little boy comes up and says, nope, you can't do that. You can't ask Domon out. You can't ask Rain out on a date because Rain belongs to Domon. I kid you not, that is a line, and I love it. A little man sticking up for Domon. And Chippy's kind of shocked by it because, belongs to Domon? What? No, they're just friends. And, Rain doesn't really talk the whole time. She has blushing and, they're getting back and forth. And little girl's like, nah, she belongs to Domon. And Chippy's like, nope, they're just friends, so I can ask him out. It's A-okay. She belongs to no one. Right, Rain? And everybody, Rain just responds with, do I get a say in any of this? And laughter. They go, they're all together and they're now walking around and Chippity has some stuff he wants to tell Domon. Tells Domon about his next opponent. Kirei. Ugh. And Domon is, Domon's Domon. He's learning about it, figuring out, hey, this dude's from Nepal. It'll be an interesting fight. And he's an assassin, so we're gonna have some struggles here. And Chippity's like, we'll just take this one day at a time. You're gonna go into hiding. He ain't gonna find you until the match. Okay, we got this. And everybody starts walking ahead, and Domon says, too late. He's already here. And there's Kirei ready to take out Domon in broad daylight. He is ready to take him out. He's ready to end Domon, fight Domon, and make sure that his match and his job goes according to plan. And they're all kind of mesmerized by it. And Domon says, hey, why don't we take this somewhere else? And Kirei doesn't listen. And he immediately strikes with his staff, cracking the ground and a water main. This man's super strong. This man's incredibly tough. And this man is going to cause issues for Domon. So, as the match continues, Domon keeps dodging as Kirei just starts going after him relentlessly. Rain and them try to go ahead, but Chippity says, no, I'll go. You guys get to safety. Domon jumps atop a bus trying to get away. He's like, hey, I think I finally lost him, but he watches as Kirei's just jumping from sign to sign to get to him. He thinks he's lucky enough because Kirei gets on the bus and the bus goes through a tunnel. And Domon's like, hey, it's dark. This is going to hinder him. I'm okay right now. And Kirei says, nope. Just because you're in darkness doesn't mean you're safe. And Kirei just goes for attack, starts striking Domon. And Domon gets thrown to the other side of the bus, uses his cloth to break Kirei's glasses that he sees. And we get the reveal. Kirei is completely blind. So through all of his attacks, through all of his hunting down of people, he has not been able to see once. He is the blind opponent for Domon. And it's pretty badass. I love blind fighters. So Domon tries to strike, but he realizes with that long staff, he can't get it really close. So he's going to try to force his way through. And as he's dodging and forcing his way through towards Kirei to land a punch, Kirei says, not even up close, you're safe, and pulls out a sword to strike at Domon. Domon, not having good enough time to dodge, ends up getting cut, Chippity comes in his own core lander to catch Domon just at the last minute. Says, we're getting out of here now because this isn't okay. And they spin out, lose control, and Chippity and them crash. But Kirei lands on the ground, says his time's done for now, slices a bus in two, catching on fire, and escapes. You see Chippity's core lander crashed. Go inside, we see Chippity and Domon laying there, kind of damaged, and Chippity's like, did we get him? Before passing out. We cut over to Nepal's little base of operation, whatever have you. They're doing everything, and Kirei's getting a talking to. He failed. According to the Nepal government, he failed to do his job. He failed to assassinate Domon. So now they're gonna move on, and you now basically have to fight him. And Kirei's like, no, I'll get the job done. I'll do it. I'm a trained assassin. He'll be dead before long. You get this guy who's working for the government just start chewing into Kirei, saying, we brought you back even though you're a failed fighter. Your one job is to assassinate your targets. Your one job is to end these people. We can send you out again. We can cast you aside again, just like before. Well, hold up. What's going on there? Because we start seeing the government people just berate Kirei for failing to destroy Domon when he had a chance. And Kirei's like, I'll get it. Don't you worry. And immediately cuts a candle, and it lands as he begins to threaten the dude. And he's like, I'm an assassin. There's only two ways out of an assassination: death or fleeing. He will die. One of us will die. That is the end of it. I am a good assassin. I'm a trained assassin, and nothing will stop me. And before he leaves, he flicks his sword around again a few times and cuts every candle in the little monastery area and the candle that was right in front of him into four, perfectly cutting them. Never saw it. So many slashes that they never noticed. We end up cutting over to the boat where Domon's staying. You know, you got Rain there, you got Old Man, the kids, and Chippity tells Domon about who Kirei used to be. Kirei used to be a Gundam master and was set to win the 11th Gundam tournament. He was a great fighter, incredibly precise, and won almost all of his matches until the final match where he let his guard down for a moment and he got stuck. And this was it. In this moment, he ended up losing. He looked up at the light. That was the last light he ever saw, because as his opponent shot down, it ended up blowing up his entire unit, his cockpit, and he ended up going blind. And because of his failures, his government cast him out. Government of Nepal cast him out, and he became an assassin. And that's the only reason they brought him back now, is because he's such a skilled assassin. They want him to end it all. They want him to end his opponent beforehand. And he's now known as Kirei the Reaper. Oh, it is terrifying. So, we end up cutting over to another day where we see Domon is now training with Saisaishi. The reason Domon's training with Saisaishi, if you haven't picked up on it already, is Saisaishi's a pole master. Don't clip that out. He uses staff weapons. He uses, weapons like that. So it is a good training technique for Domon to go up against. And that's what Domon does. He's struggling because of the reach of the staff, and he's like, the whole time I can only dodge because of how far out it reaches. So I'll just try to force my way through, and as he forces his way through, he remembers the blade, and he sees Saisaishi jump up and act like, hey, you can't do this. This isn't gonna be easy for you. You're gonna struggle. You have Chippity there like, I don't know how to even fight this dude because he has that reach, but when you come up close, he's going to strike you down even close. There's not really a good opening for this. And as they're struggling to figure out, like, what are we going to do, Saisashi notices something. And you look out at the water and you see Kirei there, just watching them, waiting for the attack. And Domon's like, oh my god, he's here. Chippy's like, I'm going to fight. And Domon immediately stops everybody from fighting because takes a note. Kirei's out there standing on the water on a single leaf. He's concentrating everything to this leaf so that he can stand in the middle of the water. Perfect. And he's like, that concentration, anybody that strikes him will immediately be taken down. And Kirei's like, well, what? You too scared to take me on? Come on, fight me. Chippy's like, I ain't scared. And immediately goes for a fist attack. You know how he does. Forcing his fist. And Kirei just breaks through the water, jumps, and then jumps onto this boat of a bunch of guys practicing boating. No, not very important. And he declares that he's going to end Domon. Tomorrow will be the day that Domon takes his last breath. And that kind of strikes fear into Domon. So, got over tonight, and Domon's there trying to figure out how is he going to do this? How is he going to handle this? And what's going to happen? And he then hears the voice of Schwartz Bruder as he jumps out of the water in his Gundam. It says, come on, Domon, quit being afraid. Quit being pathetic. Where's your serene state of mind? I'm going to force this into you again, you coward. And just starts berating him. He throws a log at Domon, and Domon cuts straight through it, utilizing the sword and his serene state of mind. And Schwartz says, remember that. You are the King of Hearts. You have the serene state of mind. Remember that. There's no reason to be afraid. Don't be afraid of your opponent. Go fight him. Face him head on. And that helped Domon. Not a whole lot, but it gave him the nudge he needed. Next, we go to the next day where the match is to begin. This match is going to be fascinating because it is between Domon Kashu and Kirei. Kirei has yet to actually fight in the Gundam match. Nobody's actually seen him fight. He's always won by default. So this is technically Kirei's first official match. Excuse me. So, as the match is set to begin, everybody's like, I don't know what's going to happen here. This is going to be interesting. Domon, you see Saisashi and them rooting him on, but Rain's concerned because this is a serious match. You have the people of Nepal being like, Kirei failed, but he better at least win this match, even though he failed. And Kirei's like, I'm going to win. Get the holograph of the dude. Cannot remember his name. Hong Kong dude, the guy in charge of the match. Say, let's get this started. Ready, go. And the match begins. And I think I missed it. But you see how this is Nepal Gundam. And like it's base mode. It's a giant bell. You see some beads and everything. And before the match starts, he gets into his true form. Which is long. It's cylindrical. Tons of beads. And it is maneuverable. And it just starts the match. And Domon's on the back foot the whole time, unable to dodge that strike, and he knows if he gets in close, he's gonna have that blade. Domon gets forced up against the barrier wall, and Kirei just starts lighting him up. He uses some inferno attack that just starts burning Domon. Nobody knows what's gonna happen. It looks like the end for Domon. You cut into the little room where they've been forcing these matches together. Apparently you can see how the match is going from in there using these nice chess pieces. I do like these. God, I like the look of that. And Hong Kong dude's like, looks like it's over. Domon's not going to get out of this. It's all over. And Master Asia's like, don't count him out. He has the training of the School of the Undefeated, the East. This is my student. Never count him out. And they make a little bet that, a little playful bet. He thinks he's going to lose. Master Asia has tons of confidence in him. Kirei says, this is it. What, you're not going to have anything to fight. Domon's struggling. He remembers what Schwartz said. The serene state of mind. Do it. And in that moment, Domon's like, yeah, I can't be afraid. I'm the King of Hearts. I have the serene state of mind. Nothing can make me afraid. And he immediately uses his main attack. I skipped over this because I forgot about it until right now. Rain said, why isn't Domon using Burning Finger? Just get it over with. Shippity said he can't because of the blade, because it plays right into his hand, but Domon's gonna do it anyways. Domon's going for the straight up attack, and everybody's shocked by it. Domon utilizing the serene state of mind, the King of Hearts, goes right in for the attack. Everybody thinks this is it. Kirei's like, you fell for it, you're coming in, and bam, they're blocking it off, and Domon says exactly what needs to be said. I am the King of Hearts, and you showed me your trump card before we fought. That trump card was the blade and the staff. You can't beat the King of Hearts twice with the same trick. And Domon's just going to force his way through, blast Kirei down to the ground, and says, hey, you lost. Now let's have a real fight. And Kirei accepts it. By order of the King of Hearts, Domon's demanding this match. And Kirei accepts it. What is this match, though? This is a different match than what we've been going through. You know, Kirei's bloodlust versus Domon's will to survive. This one is different. This match is the official match between Domon and Kirei. Kirei is finally done with the murdering, done with everything that he's been going through. He wants to have a real fight now. And that's what this fight is Domon and him 1v1 with a sword. Everybody's watching over. And the match starts. They swipe their blades. And as you take a look, Domon got hit in the arm. And everybody, you know, Rain's concerned. Domon's hit. Kirei's like, this was a wonderful match. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for remembering me. What is a fighter? What is a true Gundam match? And Kirei's Gundam falls to the ground because Domon beat him. And that was that. Domon won his third match. He's moving on to the next round. And he's still undefeated. Nepal's like, hey, Kirei failed. So you know what? We're just going to blow it all up and end it. And they try to go press a delete, basically a self-destruct button. But Schwartz stops him. And Schwartz says, if you press that button, I'm going to immediately tell Kirei to announce to the world what you guys have been doing. You guys have been doing messed up stuff. Enough is enough. Let him be. And Schwartz gets the upper hand. Cut back over to the little game room where Hong Kong dude, that's all I'm going to call him because I cannot remember his name. He's like, well, guess I lost. But I can't wait to see what might bring down our samurai boy. And Master Asia's like, I cannot wait for me and him to fight again. It is going to be impressive when we finally fight. And we get to our final moment where Kirei's now being sent off. He's failed. He failed the Gundam match. He's done. He's over. And he's no longer allowed back at his home. So he's going to have to move on. But he's appreciative of Domon for reminding him what is a Gundam fighter. What does it mean to fight as a Gundam fighter? It is not live or die. It is win or beat. Win or lose. That's it. He lost, but now he wants to rebuild his Gundam name. He wants to go back to being a fighter, and that's what his mission will be from now on. And he wants to have friends just like Domon. Because the friends that Domon had are what helped Domon win. And it's this nice little send-off. And I really do like Kirei. He's a fantastic character. He's very interesting. You don't get a whole lot of Kirei. He does come back. I ain't gonna say when or where, but Kirei is freaking cool. But let me get you guys' thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out with friends. hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.